We're here at the shores of Lake Geneva to answer the question, does a machine write better than humans in the year 2021? We're going to give you 4 topics. You're going to pick one of those. We've pre-written the first paragraph of each of the prompts. All you need to do is write 2 more paragraphs to complete that text. And I'll do the same using our machine learning software, GPT-3. Then we're going to get random people in the park to rate your text versus my text, which I write purely with the robot. And if you win, you're going to get 100 francs. And if we win, we give you a big hug and we thank you for your time. How do you feel?
There is a pandemic. I would rather not have a hug, but I hope we win.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, perfect.
Hey there, Kenna here. Now that our human contestants understand the challenge, let me quickly introduce you to the AI, GPT-3. You know how your phone or your email sometimes predicts your next words based on what you've already typed? Well, GPT-3 takes this to the extreme. This software, developed by OpenAI and Microsoft, has read nearly 500 billion words from the internet, and this gives it unbelievable text generation abilities. Say you wanted to write a story about how John met the love of his life, Leia, on a summer night in Paris. You could just type the first sentence and click Write for me, and then the software might write something like this. It was the beginning of a beautiful summer romance they would share for over a year, blah blah blah. Maybe you want to add more context, so you add that it was raining heavily. And now the AI says that in the crowded streets, Leah was the only person who could help him find shelter. How nice of her. And it's important to note that this is not plagiarized. So with the right prompts, this AI can be used to write excellent fiction, non-fiction, emails, advertisements, academic essays, you name it. Actually, if you're curious, comment below with a prompt for something you want to write. You could comment something like, write a cover letter for a consultant job at Goldman Sachs, or write a blog post on the pros and cons of organic food. And I'll give this to the AI and tell you what it wrote in response. Of course, you should just try the thing out yourself. I'll put a link to a free trial in the video description. Okay, let's get back to our contestants.
Okay, so which of these would you like to write about?
I quite like the first and the second one, actually. Can I ask for advice from my friend? What she thinks is best?
Of course.
Which one would you prefer, first or second?
I think as public health experts, I would say we would be very good at writing the first one.
Let's go for the first one.
Okay, so we're all set up. When I say go, we begin. 3, 2, 1, go. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna put our cursor at the end of the text, and we're going to ask it to just write for us, either a little bit somewhere in between or a lot. Let's do a little. Let's do a new paragraph. Okay, I'm not so sure I like it. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to add this piece of text here to the article brief as well, and then I will try some more.
So as you can see, the actual writing of this admission essay is pretty boring, especially since I set the AI to write only a few words at a time. So we'll just fast forward and show you the final product. But if you want to watch the whole writing process, I'll leave a link to it in the description. So here are the essays written on the left by GPT-3 and on the right by our human contestant. Pause, read through, and leave a comment with the score you would give each essay out of 10. Now let's have people in the park score the essays and see who comes out victorious.
So what rating would you give to the first essay?
The first essay would get a 6.
And the second essay?
The essay would get a 7.5.
Which one do you think was written by a robot?
Potentially the second one.
I don't know, 7 and the second one an 8.
Thank you so much for participating. You have been great judges. You have decided that the human was a slightly better writer than our AI machine, and we're not very happy about that fact. So tell us your impressions of the first one.
I would say an 8 on 10. For the second, I would give an 8 or an 8.5.
So how do you feel about knowing that the first one was written by a robot?
I would say this is very interesting. This is a very well written essay. It's a very, very well written essay.
Okay, so we are at the end of this phase of the competition. It seems that everyone gave the human written essay a little bit of a higher score than the machine written essay. So what year do you think this robot might write a better essay than you can?
Probably quite soon. So I'm quite scared that quite soon when our
Lose
written
our jobs?
capacities and our jobs might not be needed anymore. It's quite impressive.
On that ominous note, we will now give them their $100. 100 francs. There you go.
Wow, together.
Thank you for playing our machine versus human game.
Thank you.
So there you have it. In the first round, the AI writer came out only a little bit behind the human writer. Are you impressed? Well, like I said, you can give this software a spin by clicking the link in the description to get a free trial. And be sure to share this video with friends who you think might find this interesting as well. In the next installment, we're going to pick back up with our second contestant and see how she fares against the AI in writing a fictional story about a serpentine monster. I'll see you there.